Hey everybody, this is Claire, and this is Small Joyful Things. As always, I go to thrift stores or estate sales, or sometimes I buy things from Craigslist, and I'm always looking for interesting things to show you guys, or that I can bring home, find out about, and then make videos about. So here's what I've got today. Leave that somewhere out there out of view. I have this really beautiful bowl. I hope this actually shows up correctly on the camera. You can see it's just this amazing like ice effect. It's really lovely. My hands are quite small. I just want to assure you that it is actually quite a large bowl. It's also incredibly heavy for the size of it. It is like it's sizable enough that I can hold it like that, and it must be several pounds of glass, like lead crystal, very, very tough. It's also got these really beautiful motifs all over it. You can see here we have this reindeer and little cabin, and then beautiful, beautiful florals. And this is a tower, but I understand it's actually part of the Swedish Parliament. And then there's this guy and his goose, which I'm not entirely sure about. And then we have these two couples dancing underneath the wreaths here. So it's really quite nice, and you can see that there's just about four panels split up by the little floral designs here. The top of it is very freeform. It's pressed glass, not blown, as far as I know. There's a seam line right here and here. Again, it's incredibly heavy, and luckily in this case we don't need to do much to actually identify it, because what we have right here is the Kosta Boda sticker. And that definitely does some of the work for us. Now, before we get to this, let's measure it up. It is about just shy of 4 inches. And it's kind of hard to judge because the height changes on the rim. So it's about 4.5 inches high at the most, and it is 5.5 inches across. So quite sizable. It is. I've seen it in a few places being described as an ice bucket. I don't think it's really big enough for that. Like, there is a bigger version which is a 7-inch one, but they don't actually specify whether that's by width or height, so we're not entirely sure about that. This one, I would say, is more like basically a decorative piece more than anything else. It is like there to sit on your shelf, or maybe you can put bonbons or chocolates or something into it if you really like. But it's very much got the style, obviously, of Swedish art glass. So what can we actually say about this? I'll put that over here. Kosta Boda is definitely the reason why I would buy something like this. Once I see the stickers, I'm definitely like basically all about that. Now, Kosta Boda Glassbrook. It has been around since 1742 in some form or another. Still around today, still producing beautiful art glass. They were huge, absolutely huge in the mid-century, because they were part of kind of the Scandinavian kind of mid-century design kind of thing that everybody started to copy. And they obviously produced this, and do we know from the sticker exactly when? Honestly, I can't tell. I've seen a few different variations of this, and whether the Kosta Boda is like in a straight line altogether or whether it's stacked like this, it's not entirely sure. I would say that this is probably from either the 80s or the 90s. It's vintage. It's not especially old. It's just quite nice. And this is kind of borne out by the fact that the base has very little wear to it. They were definitely producing this, I think, in the early 80s. But this one, I think, is from later than that. It's just like, it doesn't have the same kind of wear as what I would expect. It's nice. I'm actually going to put it down because it's quite heavy. So again, I'll put it down in the description if you want to read a little bit about Kosta Boda themselves. You can also go to their website, which is nice, just to see, find out about them and the fact that they have such an enormously long history. And they certainly have a history of supporting designers. And this one is, hopefully I pronounce this right, Kjell Engman. Engman was, he's been designing for Kosta Boda for a very long time. He's about 75 now. He was doing this sort of stuff in the mid 20th century. A little bit about him here, again, I'll put it down in the description. a tirelessly productive visual artist with unbounded imagination and a passion for narrative who finds free expression through both utility class and art class. Some of his pieces and collections here are absolutely beautiful. I'm particularly fond of this one, the Poppy collection. I just think it's wonderfully organic. So I've been researching, trying to find out exactly what is the point of the motifs that are actually on the Rhapsody bowl. I've seen it also called the wedding bowl, but there's not really a whole lot of information as to what it was intended to be. Now we do actually have the replacements.com listing for the Rhapsody pattern, and it includes what we've got here: a 4-inch footed bowl, 4-inch round bowl, 6-inch round bowl, 7-inch round bowl, and this is 5.5 inches across and 4.5 inches tall. Like, so essentially we don't really know which one they're talking about, and that presents some issues about, like, how do you judge, like, essentially how much it's worth and a few other things. Like, I match a lot of things simply on the size, and this is not listed. It's weird. Anyway, we don't have a whole lot of information here except that there are more pieces in this particular pattern. Not many, just more than just this. Now I do also have this here, which shows what the original box would actually look like. And there goes my, come on iPad. There goes my iPad, and I'm also knocking the camera. So sorry. So there we go. Rhapsody by Kosta Boda, Sweden, design Kjell Engman. Now, you can see here, this is where they call it the wedding dancers. I'm really not sure that that's the case, but I can find really not a whole lot of information about it. We have a little bit more here, just no chips, no cracks, made in Sweden, etc., etc. Like, we don't really have a whole lot. This is diameter on top 14. Yeah, I measured this again so that this is basically the same size as the one that I've got here. Yeah, the $71, who knows, that's the offering price. So if we go over to eBay, I took a quick look at this. We do actually have some examples here. And same thing. Here we go. What have we got? What have we got? Item description. Doesn't have the size. Of course. These are all obviously the sold listing, and they vary from, I've looked through a few others here, they vary from like $14, $15 up to $30. A little bit more for the actual footed, the little footed, small footed bowls. So you can see that there is a market for it. Maybe not a whole lot. Now the big question is, how much did I spend on it? I spent $8 on it. Because basically it was Kosta Boda, and I was pretty sure that, $8 was a good price to pay for quality Swedish art glass. I will probably be putting this up on Etsy. I'm afraid that the weight of it is going to make shipping rather painful, but I like it too much, and I'm not going to just send it back to the thrift store. I don't think that would be fair. Let's have another quick look at it again. And all those motifs. I particularly like the reindeer. I can't quite tell what this is. It's such a fan thing, and I saw this first and thought it was a windmill, but I know it's not. I think it's probably a cabin or a lean-to of some kind. And then the dancing couples that everybody apparently refers to it as the wedding bowl. Still, I think it's... Put it down. Yeah, don't roll. There we go. So here we go. This is my small joyful thing for the day. Again, if you'd like to take a look at some of the items I show in my videos, you can check the link to my Etsy store in the description. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Bye-bye.